CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. The leaders of Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. will hold separate meetings tomorrow in Washington, D.C. As Joy Melvin reports, the future of trade between our countries will be front and center.
The president, who prides himself as a tough trade negotiator, threw out a bomb the other day.
We'll either let it expire or we'll maybe work out another deal with Mexico and Canada.
This as marathon meetings are being held in Washington over the future of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. The message from Canada's largest businesses and companies: improve it, extend it, but keep it.
Let's create a fortress North America where we get out of our own way, where we're not competing with each other, but we're leveraging our strengths. And I put the emphasis on energy, not only Canada's strength, but really North America's strength.
But trade tensions are high and expectations low after trade talks stalled with Canada. The president blew up over an anti-tariff Ontario TV ad, quoting Ronald Reagan. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer says when it comes to the USMCA, all scenarios are on the table. Telling Politico, the president's view is he only wants deals that are a good deal. The reason why we built a review period into USMCA was in case we needed to revise it, review it, or exit it. And where better to ease those trade tensions than at a sporting event where President Donald Trump will play host. A little soccer diplomacy and FaceTime between Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Trump. And Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum might just smooth things over.
It's a sign that as neighbors, as we are, we understand on how to collaborate, on how to hear each other. I believe that the world is moving from free trade to a more fair trade.
The U.S. Trade Panel has heard from dozens of Canadian, U.S. and Mexican representatives, and they all seem to be saying the same thing, that the USMCA trade agreement is crucial to the economy. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
Meanwhile, London's economic response team hosted a national webinar today focused on trade uncertainty.
Trade negotiations with our most important partner continue to unfold unpredictably and currently appear stalled, with business investment slowing, unemployment rising, and overall economic growth softening.
Municipal and trade leaders discussed how they can respond to trade war complications. Speakers said municipalities are relying on local strengths as well as cross-border connections to support businesses, workers, and communities.
We have a really important role in both the connections that we have in U.S. cities, but also in the on-the-ground intel that we can develop on how those decisions are being impacted within our cities.
London police are appealing for more information investigating a fire at a frat house this week. According to a media release today, a total of 6 people were injured in the fire Tuesday night. Police say 5 women were taken to hospital, where 2 of them are still receiving treatment. The severity of the women's injuries are unknown at this time. They say one man was treated by paramedics at the scene and did not need hospital care. They are also suggesting others may have been injured in the incident who left the scene before emergency crews arrived. Meanwhile, OPP say they've laid charges after a homicide last weekend in Lambton County. Police say they were called to a home near Port Franks for a disturbance where they found the body of 57-year-old Kimberly Hack. A second person was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Police say they've charged 23-year-old Justin Hack with several offenses, including second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. They say the suspect remains in custody with a court appearance scheduled for next week. Deliberations are underway at the coroner's inquest looking into the death of a London woman who died in police custody. 28-year-old Amanda Bolt was arrested twice on the same day by London police in November 2019. She later collapsed in a jail cell and was rushed to hospital. She died there 10 days later. During closing submissions, the jury heard recommendations. Among them, officers receive more training so they can make better decisions when assessing inmate well-being. The inquest has heard Bolt faced many complex health challenges in her lifetime. Officials with local conservation authorities are adding their voices, criticizing the provincial government's proposal to merge agencies across Ontario. As Scott Miller reports, in our region, that would mean 2 organizations covering massive territories.
Simply put, Ontario's conservation authorities do not like provincial plans that would see 36 conservation authorities turned into 7.
We don't support the proposal that's being put forward by the province at this time. We haven't seen any information in terms of a business case, a feasibility assessment, cost-benefit analysis, anything like that.
On October 31st, the Ministry of Environment proposed changes to the Conservation Authorities Act, which would merge the province's 36 conservation authorities down to 7 and would create a new Ontario-wide provincial conservation agency. In Midwestern Ontario's case, the new Huron-Superior Regional Conservation Authority would merge 7 conservation authorities and would stretch all the way from Bayfield to Thunder Bay.
This is bigger than the country of Belize. It's about 4 times the size of Prince Edward Island.
The ministry's goal is to speed up building permits by developing a single permitting portal, one set of rules for the entire province. On average, it takes 12.5 days to get a permit approved by Ontario's conservation authorities, say conservation officials. 5.7 days at the Maitland Valley Conservation Authority.
One could argue that it's not fragmented as much as it is fine-tuned. It's fine-tuned for the shoreline of Lake Huron, the shoreline of Lake Erie, the eastern shore of Lake Ontario, Lake Simcoe, all different environments, so different set of circumstances that you need to have fine-tuning.
The province says no conservation field staff would lose their jobs, but such massive amalgamation would move decision-making for local projects hours and hundreds of kilometers away, say conservation officials.
We're really concerned that the local voice of both the people in our community and the elected councillors that sit on our municipal councils will be lost in the noise of the bigger area.
London would be covered by the Lake Erie Regional Conservation Authority, encompassing an area from Orangeville to Windsor.
We do want to see the provincial government succeed in their plans. I mean, the provincial government wants to look after the people of the province, look after the environment, and look after the economy. And we want to be part of that, too.
Public comment on the proposed changes are open until December 22nd. If approved, the proposed boundary changes would take effect January 1st, 2027. In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Officials at London Health Sciences Centre say 1 year into a new program, hundreds of patients have been transitioned home sooner, freeing up hospital beds. As Brian Bicknell reports, they now want to expand the program further in 2026.
Elizabeth Hutchison needs a little help sometimes.
I'm a work in progress. I'm getting better. I've been out of hospital. It will be a year tomorrow.
It was March of 2024 when Elizabeth was first admitted to LHSC with a host of medical issues. When she was finally released and sent home, the care continued, but in a different way. Now 84, she was one of the first patients to access LHSC to home, a program to provide patients with personalized care as they transition from hospital to home.
I was so happy, but also very much weaker than I anticipated. You take for granted that you have 3 meals a day, you have nurses to look after you, and you know that's why the replacement and this program is so important.
She so needed to be home as part of her recovery. I think it was really incredibly important for her own mental health. It was time to leave the hospital. Even if she wasn't well enough, she really wanted to be home.
The hospital has partnered with nonprofit health provider SE Health for the program. Supported by the province, it offers up to 16 weeks of home care services.
Our primary nurse goes in, assesses the patient. We bring in the whole interprofessional team, which includes our physiotherapist, our occupational therapist, our PSWs, our social work dietitian. We do a fulsome assessment and we develop personalized programs.
The home care program has helped 500 patients in just its first year. That's 500 people not taking up a much-needed hospital bed for up to 16 weeks at a time.
Our our emergency department wait times can be decreased. It means that ambulances aren't waiting to offload patients into the emergency department. It means we're not canceling surgery. It is an absolute game changer for us.
LHSC hopes to expand the program by another 100 patients in the coming year. As for Elizabeth, home is where the heart is and the health is.
My family really turned up for me, and but it was nice to be able to get that extra help.
I need to get my feet up.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
LHSC leadership are addressing employee concerns after the hospital ended unlimited mental health benefits for some staff. The hospital has offered those unlimited benefits since December 2023. The cancellation was announced earlier this week by LHSC's supervisor. Benefits are capped for some employees anywhere from $400 to $3,000 per person, depending on their collective agreement. According to LHSC officials, the cost of supporting staff's mental health has amounted to millions of dollars a year to the hospital.
It is unfortunate because clearly mental health is an issue amongst healthcare workers and others and their families for that matter. But when 80% of the staff are not accessing it and we got some difficult choices to make as a healthcare institution, it's something that shouldn't have been done in the first place.
Staff at Bowler Mountain are optimistic about the upcoming season, planning to open the first runs next week. Sean Irvin has the latest on preparations and new technology debuting this year.
Snow machines blast the surface of Bowler Mountain. After several weeks of preparation, including some help from Mother Nature, the ski and snowboard attraction is set to open next week.
We're hoping to open on Wednesday.
In the interim, snow needs to be pushed, groomed, and tilled.
Things are looking great. We got some really cold days ahead, and it's for a much longer extended run than last year.
Thankfully, spending on snowmaking equipment over the past decade has made Bowler less susceptible to sudden temperature fluctuations.
We're okay. We can weather through some stuff now.
More operational days have translated into more money. Revenue has been used to build a new chalet in 2018 and a new equipment shop in 2024. Last year, as many as 150,000 people cut an edge on Bowler during the winter months. That's double the number of a decade ago.
The infrastructure we have in place now it's just phenomenal.
What's new at Bowler this year is enhanced online ticketing and the end of lift passes. Electronic gates are now in place.
It's designed to read an RFID ticket that's in your pocket and automatically lets you through the gate if your ticket is active and valid.
The $250,000 system is expected to reduce the number of counterfeit passes while also improving flow on the slopes.
It won't slow you down. It'll just enhance the experience.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Coming up, an unexpected visitor to a Virginia ABC store. How one raccoon ended his night passed out in the bathroom. Canada's main stock index was up on strength in the financial sector. In Toronto, the TSX gained 317 points, while in New York, the Dow fell 32, but the Nasdaq added 51. The Canadian dollar took a modest loss of 0.02 of a cent, and on commodity markets, gold gained more than $10 an ounce, and oil is up 72 cents a barrel. The latest Canadian food forecast is predicting a jump in prices for 2026. Today's report suggests food costs will overtake inflation, with an average family expected to spend almost $1,000 more compared to this year. Abigail Beeman reports.
As a new and breastfeeding mom, more expensive food prices mean hard decisions for Valerie E. Madison.
Well, now even the quantity of food as well, I have to cut a little bit, to have the quality, so you have to cut it because, yes, it's just so expensive.
According to a new report, overall food prices are expected to jump between 4% and 6% next year, leaving a family of four with an annual grocery bill of $17,571 and change, up almost $1,000 from last year.
This is our 16th edition, and so we've never predicted an amount like this.
The biggest driver this year, beef, climbed 19% in the first quarter and 7.2% overall.
Because of beef prices, people are so shocked they pivot towards chicken and pork. We're also expecting prices for both chicken and pork to increase as well.
Other factors impacting food prices are the trade war, the GST holiday, and changes to the temporary foreign worker program.
10.6 million Canadians are food insecure, but those that are missing meals on a daily basis or weekly basis, those are 2.8 million. And so food banks right across the country have risen to the occasion.
Food costs have driven Paul Wang to take transit.
You have a choice of gas or the food.
It's terrible because I'm on a lower income.
In addition to the U.S. trade war, the report notes other things to watch next year include the impact of more severe weather events and the new grocery code of conduct, which fully comes into force in January. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, in search for savings, Canadians are turning to technology at the grocery store. CTV's Alison Bamford explains how informed shoppers can cut costs.
I need apples.
Wally Atawoyan is looking for the best deals on groceries.
If I can get the cheapest, I will definitely go for it.
Helping in the search is an app he created, MyFlyer. It allows consumers to compare prices, and if shoppers are willing to go to more than one store, it can generate the most cost-effective trip based on drive time and gas.
If you can get that kind of information at your fingertips for cheaper, locally, I think that would be great.
Atawoyan still needs food price data before the app can go public. It would add to a growing list of digital supports that already exist. Some connect consumers with discounted items nearing expiration. Others allow them to browse digital flyers. But experts say even that can be limiting.
Not every product makes it into a flyer on a weekly basis. So there are deals in stores that retailers are offering that people do not know about.
Better Cart Analytics is working on its own app for the new year that would give consumers access to a full catalog of product prices.
We'd like to be able to show consumers what is a regular price and how far or deep that promotion actually is if it is on sale.
Reducing the amount of food waste can also stretch a household budget without the need for an app.
We want to buy just what we need. We want to use it up after we make it, and we want to store it right.
Understanding best before dates is also key to limiting food waste. The date refers to peak freshness and doesn't necessarily mean the product has gone bad. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Good evening, I'm Rita Ismail. As we head into the night, good news, those lake effect flurries that Midwestern Ontario has been dealing with throughout the day today are starting to taper off. The winds will shift overnight tonight, and there is a chance for some lake effect flurries off of Lake Erie throughout Elgin County. As we head into Friday, we're expecting the sunshine to return, but our temperatures are dropping overnight tonight. Wind chill factored in, it'll feel close to -20. And heading into the weekend, flurries will return. I'll break down the full forecast a little later in the show.
It's time to build a toy mountain. Make this holiday season merry for so many kids. Bring new unwrapped toys to CF Masonville Place.
All in support of the Salvation Army. We will be collecting donations November 21st to December 24th.
With all donations helping families right here in our community. Toy Mountain, supported by Gomez Appliances, London Bass Center, and UBC Built Local 1946.
Let's make this the best toy mountain ever. Visit ctvlondon.ca for more ways to donate.
Rita Ismail joins me on the desk now. Rita, I know the cold can get annoying this time of year, but it also gives that holiday spirit I know I've been wanting.
For sure. If anything, positive side. It feels closer to the holidays.
Exactly.
Right? It's been especially cold today. Lauren, our overnight low was actually our high for today, -3 degrees. Since then, we've tumbled down to -13 later this evening. Normal this time of year, you ask? Well, that's 3 degrees. We're nowhere near that. The record, 17, believe it or not, in 1941. Record low, -23 in 1966. As we head into the night, we are seeing the winds ease, which is great news over Lake Huron. Those streamers and lake effect flurries that set up throughout the day are starting to ease. As we push through to tomorrow morning, we'll be under mainly clear conditions the further south you go, and then a bit more cloud cover in Grey and Bruce County. The good news is the winds will shift again, and that means less probability for lake effect flurries for those areas that have been impacted this past week. The cold air, though, still remains in place. We had a nice ridge of high pressure. You can see this clear area here, and that means it allowed for all that cold Arctic air to seep through, and for us it was that lake effect flurries. Now as the winds shift, you could see some bands of lake effect flurry to the northern shores of Lake Erie throughout Elgin County, possible around midnight tonight, but very brief. That will move out, and then we're going to be waking up to mainly sunny conditions in London, a bit more cloud cover further to the north. And as we push through Friday, there's a weak clipper that drops through. A similar pattern will set up, so we'll have some light dust of snowfall overnight Friday into Saturday, and then the air mass in behind that will be cold, and it will allow for some more lake effect flurries for your Saturday afternoon, with some breaks of sunshine as well for you for the weekend. Let's plan out tomorrow though. So if you're waking up early and heading out the door, bundle up. -12, feeling about -18 with the wind chill, dry, cold air mass. The winds will be a bit breezy around noon. Will drop down, or rather climb up to -4 for the daytime high, and then feel close to -10 with a bit of a wind chill factored in. So our high for tomorrow will be -4. But it is going to feel close to -20 first thing in the morning as that wind chill is there under those mainly clear conditions, which will allow some sunshine to push through. Saturday will warm up, again, relatively speaking, to -1. The chance for scattered flurries is there as that system pushes through overnight Friday into Saturday, leaving behind some stronger winds out of the northwest, ushering in lake effect flurries Saturday, and the probability is there, but on the lower end for Sunday as well. Looks to be a beautiful sunny start for next week, Monday, but cold conditions, -13 overnight low, climbing to only -6, nowhere near where we're supposed to be again this time of year, which is 3 degrees. Midwestern Ontario, similar conditions in store for you. Bitterly cold temperatures overnight tonight as we dip down to -10, feeling close to -20 with the wind chill early Friday morning. But the good news is we should not be dealing with lake effect flurries tomorrow, so a bit of a break until that weak low pressure system pushes through Friday into Saturday, and then that lake effect snowmaking machine will kick right back up Saturday and Sunday. Now Monday appears to be the coldest of the next 7 as we drop down to -7, and that's the daytime high throughout Midwestern Ontario. Good news though, we'll recover nicely Tuesday and Wednesday in terms of our temperatures, but that will come with some accumulative snowfall. Lauren?
Thanks, Rita. As the year draws to a close, Google Canada is revealing what you searched for in 2025. CTV's John Vanavalley-Rao has more on what captured Canada's imagination.
When it comes to summing up the year that's gone by, what better to look at than the things Canadians Googled in 2025? And one subject came up more than any other: the Blue Jays, who gave us some of the year's most memorable moments, including this Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Grand Slam against New York. And in the category of news and events, these 2 words were the year's most looked up, followed by Canadian election results, Iran, LA fires, and the Charlie Kirk shooting. As for the person Googled the most, Mark Carney topped the list.
This was an election year, and Canadians were following the election every step of the way.
Serial killer Ed Gein came in second. He was the subject of a Netflix true crime series. When it comes to athletes, 4 of the top 5 Googled were Blue Jays, including rookie Trey Savage, and rounding out the list, Canadian tennis star Victoria Mboko, who at age 18 won the National Bank Open in Montreal. As for searches, starting with what, among the most popular were, what does elbows up mean? What time is the Jays game today? And what does 6-7 mean? A meme that caught on fast with kids and has no fixed meaning, part of its appeal. The top why questions: why is Canada Post on strike? Why did Trudeau resign? And why do baseball players spit? When it comes to the top searched word in pop culture, it was La Boo Boo, a line of plush toys that went viral, followed by Bianca Censori's Grammy dress.
My name is Happy Gilmore.
While the top search movie was Happy Gilmore 2. And the most Googled song, Golden, from the animated musical K-pop Demon Hunters. A year that had its golden moments as we count down the final weeks to 2026. John Benavalli Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Finally tonight, animal control officers responded to an unusual call after a raccoon broke into an ABC store in Virginia. Maggie Glass reports.
Early Saturday morning, an ABC store in Ashland was paid a visit from a rather surprising guest. This raccoon breaking into the store through the ceiling, damaging the security system on his way. Once inside, the party animal certainly made the most of his time with the liquor, leaving a trail of destruction in his path. Virginia ABC telling us there was around $250 worth of spirits damaged. The raccoon ending up, of all places, asleep next to the toilet in the employee bathroom.
I was just like, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
At least he got to the bathroom when he passed out.
An officer with Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter arrived at the ABC store in the morning and took the mischievous mammal into custody. After a few hours of sobering up, he was alert and unharmed, minus probably the worst hangover of his life. He was then released back into the wild. The shelter posting these hilarious photos on social media, and quickly the story went viral.
What I'm seeing on the post, it's kind of a lot of it's hilarious. Is this actually true? Things along those lines is April Fool's joke type of thing.
We went to the scene of the crime on Tuesday, and after conducting our own investigation into the matter, a crucial piece of information came to light. This animal very well may be a serial stealer. Neighboring business Rise Martial Arts says they too have fallen victim to a raccoon break-in.
It was up in the crawl space, like in the ceiling, and it went through in our break room, and it got into all of our snacks. It was all over the place. I was sent a lot of messages from my coworkers actually today saying, what if it's the same raccoon? So.
What do you think?
I would think so.
As it turns out, everyone in the area already knew about this rowdy raccoon.
My friends at martial arts told me. Seeing it so close to home, it's just like, cool, it's local.
As the story continues to go viral, Hanover Animal Protection and Shelter says they are welcoming the exposure.
What we do on a daily basis, because a lot of people don't know, or they always see the negative in things. And so, yeah, I was like, put it out there. Let's put it out there. So you can't make it up. It happened.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.